Hello everyone. I am back again. This time we're taking a look at Blind Survival, which is a horror survival audio game. Now, this game had a demo a while back, I think a couple of years back, in which you could play the very beginning of the story mode and a little bit of a tutorial. So the tutorial's been much improved, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to play the story mode a little, just so that you guys can see how the game plays, and then I am going to um, let you guys discover the rest of the mechanics. So let's get right into this, and as always, if you like my videos, please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already, as it really does help the channel to grow. Right, let's go.
Therefore essential that sounds coming from your right are heard in your right ear, and that sounds coming from your left are heard in your left ear. If your headphones aren't properly balanced, or you have a minor hearing loss in one ear, it might help to adjust the stereo balance in this game's settings menu. If the following audio cues are heard in the wrong ear, your headphones might be on the wrong way. This should be coming from your left. This should be coming from your right.
Alright, so the way that the controls for this game works is standard FPS controls. You can use the mouse, you can use the controller, or you can use the keyboard. I'm using the keyboard, so it is WASD to move forward, left, backwards, and right. The arrow keys when in combat to attack in the direction of an enemy, and the shift key to toggle sneaking, and space and enter to interact. Right, let's get into this. Let's see. I'm going to just take a brief overview of the settings. I'm just gonna turn off NVDA mode.
Stereo balance 50. NVDA settings. Press up/down to select a setting. NVDA stereo mouse sensitive keyboard rotate
but
controller subtitles for control keyboard mouse stereo balance 50%.
The game will start with NVDA mode on if you have NVDA turned on, of course. So we have in the settings
NVDA mode off. Stereo balance 50%. Mouse sensitivity 7. Keyboard rotation sensitivity 7. Controller sensitivity 12. Subtitles for voices on. Delete save file.
Alright.
Back. You have turned on or off NVDA mode. This change requires the game to be closed and reopened. In NVDA mode the game will use your own NVDA screen reader instead of the built-in one. However, this might have some bugs, and you yourself will have to press enter/skip button when you have finished reading a piece of dialogue in the story. You can press N on your keyboard, or select on your controller, to read the subtitles most recently on screen. This even works in pause menus. You can also press C to copy the subtitles to your clipboard. Note, doing this in the story intro copies the whole video script to clipboard.
Alright. So Will it restart automatically? I don't think so. Okay, let me quickly restart the game.
It is therefore essential that sounds coming from your right are heard in your right ear.
Blind survival.
There we
Use
go.
vertical key. Story mode.
Alright.
Game mode.
Now,
Tutorial.
you do
Game
have
modes.
game modes besides story mode, but I'm not gonna spoil that.
Tutorial. From beginning.
Then you have a tutorial
Challenges.
and challenges, which are achievements.
Tutorial. Game
So,
modes.
let's get into story mode.
Story mode. Story mode. Continue. New game.
One day. Just one day. That was all it took to make this place a nightmare. The day before that day, a man had shown up early for his work as a radio broadcaster. He went there alone to pre-record a program that would air later that day. But after the program had aired, some parts of it was mysteriously gone, just like the radio host himself. Can you hear that? It's the sound of ocean waves and the sheep roaming the fields. Actually, we're in a studio right now, so Anyway, I'm Dr. Andrew, expert on the history of the Gari Island. This is known as one of the most peaceful places on Earth, but the people who grew up here often get to hear the story of the brutal civil war that happened over 100 years ago. Almost half of the inhabitants died. My grandpa used to tell me the story every night before I went to sleep. It always brings me such joy when the great hero climbed the watchtower. Fun fact, we can actually see the watchtower from the studio. For better or worse, the military force that the island once had withered away like autumn leaves. Probably because no one believes we would go to war again after how many that lost their lives in the Civil War. And during this tough time, people had to find new ways to support themselves. One of these ways was by exporting wool, thanks to the special breed of sheep that lives on this island. Therefore, a lot of people consider the sheep to be holy. Unfortunately, a few sheep mysteriously disappeared a few weeks ago, and many older folks are taking it as a bad omen. And the fact that the government is trying to sweep it under the rug isn't making people calmer. Especially when you consider that the annual sheep festival is held today. Regardless, Gari still remains a very peaceful island, even though it is still quite unknown. But that's the end of this small history lesson, and I hope you enjoy the sheep festival. Finally done recording. Now it's time to pay that watchtower a visit. A scream pierces through the night, jolting you wide awake. You call out to your friends, but get no response. The sudden realization that you're alone in the tent makes adrenaline surge through your veins. But if one of your friends are in trouble, you have no choice but to leave the tent and investigate. There's a camping knife in your bag. You should take it before you head out.
Okay, that means that Sona sound means that there is an item behind me. It will be low pitched as it is behind you. That sound means that you can interact by pressing space.
You retrieve the knife from your bag. You have now obtained your first weapon. To equip the weapon, you must first open the inventory menu. There are two ways to do this. Either you can open the pause menu by pressing start on your controller or escape on your keyboard and then selecting the inventory. Or you can press the I key on your keyboard to open it instantly. Go ahead and open the inventory.
Now, there is a bug with this, and I'm gonna show you guys this now.
The inventory consists of 3 slots.
In each slot, you can put a different weapon or equipable item. You can use up and down buttons to navigate between the different slots. Once a slot is selected, you can press right and left buttons to change the equipped item inside it. Please put the camping knife inside a slot and then exit the inventory with the escape button or back button on your controller.
Weapons.
Alright,
Navigate
so
up. Slot 1 empty-handed. Camping knife.
I'm gonna put the camping knife in slot 1. But now if I want to
Pause
close
menu.
my
Use
inventory,
navigation keys to select an option.
that happens.
Continue
So
game with escape.
you have to actually press escape twice.
Good job! The camping knife is now equipped in a slot. You can switch between the slots using the 1, 2 and 3 keys on your keyboard respectively, or the D-pad left, up and right, where left is the first slot, up is the second and right is the third. You can now continue your adventure.
Okay.
What the? That's the sound of a zombie, just like the ones you've heard in countless horror movies. And judging by the screams earlier, this is no prank. This is a real zombie. And you have no idea how many more could be roaming around the camping site. You should sneak past it into the forest by following the river to your left. But part of you also want to fight this zombie.
Alright, so we can sneak, which you can do either by pressing shift. That indicates you're sneaking. If you press it again, you're no longer sneaking. Or you could hold it in and move, and when you're done sneaking, release shift. But I'm not gonna sneak past this one. Well, actually, there's a cool mechanic when you choose to sneak. That heartbeat sound? There we go. That heartbeat sound means that you are close enough for a critical strike.
You managed to kill the zombie, but sadly, the victim is giving no signs of being alive. You think they're already dead. The thought of touching a dead body frightens you, but you need to know if it's one of your friends. You kneel down and check the body. It appears to be a short woman wearing a negligee. You unwillingly give out a sigh of relief. That's not one of your friends. You realize that if you don't run off into the forest by following the river to your left, you might end up like this poor woman.
Alright, let's follow the river then.
Blind survival. Will you live to hear another day?
The sound you just heard indicates that the game has been saved. You've now unlocked the ability to hear walls. When facing an object that you can't walk through, like the fence preventing you from walking into the river, a metronome sound will play. The volume of the sound is determined by the distance to the object you're facing. Use this to swiftly traverse your environments. The sense of the forest brings back pleasant memories of the childhood vacations to this island. The calm atmosphere is bringing down your adrenaline levels, making you realize that it's actually quite cold. It appears the morning sun has yet to grace the dense canopy with its warmth. Following the river should be a good way to not get lost in the forest.
I love the cracking twigs.
Seems to be a door to a house. Surprisingly, the door isn't locked. You step inside. You smell gunpowder. Are there weapons nearby?
Alright.
A glass shelf. You wonder if there's some way to open it. You have a feeling there might be weapons inside. There's a chair in front of a desk. You can use it to break open the glass shelf. With incredible strength, you pick up the not-so-heavy chair. Seems like
That's
all
pretty
those hours
funny.
at the gyms really paid off.
Alright.
You brace yourself and, carefully not to hurt yourself on the glass, you feel around the inside. There's a gun here. You hope there's ammunition nearby. You've now found a gun, a powerful but very loud ranged weapon. Using it will cause zombies in the area to hunt you. Fire it using your activation button. Now, please open your inventory. You should now put the gun inside a different slot than where you have the knife.
When you have the gun and the knife inside different slots, you can easily switch between them during combat.
Weapons, navigate up and down. Slot 1 camping knife. Slot 2 empty-handed. Gun. Pause
The knife and the gun are now equipped in 2 different slots, and you can easily change between them using the number keys on your keyboard or the D-pad on your controller. This will be very useful inside combat, because now you can go from ranged to melee. But before you can use the gun, you will need to find some ammunition for it.
You check the desk where the chair was standing. You found some ammo. You feel ready to go back to the camping site. With newfound courage, you step out of the house, but an unfortunate surprise awaits. After leaving the hunting lodge, you quickly realize that the area has been surrounded by zombies. If you use your new gun, it will reveal your location, and they might all come for you. It might be best to be sneaky this time, but this choice is up to you.
You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
$19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. You exterminated all the zombies in the area. Time to follow the river and get back to the camping site.
Finally back to the camping site. You forgot your phone in the tent this morning. It might have news about what's going on, and perhaps your friends have tried to contact you. Joel and Sophie are strong, but you are still very worried for them.
Alright, so there are a couple of things here. But I'm not gonna go exploring them. I'm going to the higher pitched one that is my tent.
This appears to be your tent, but why was the zipper closed? That's not how you left it this morning. You can also smell an unfamiliar scent. Someone or something has been in your tent. Your phone is still under the pillow where you left it this morning. There's an unread message from Joe. Your heart skips a beat.
Hey, we heard a strange noise and we'll investigate the situation. Don't be scared if you wake up alone.
This message must have been sent before you woke up. And of course the mobile network isn't working. You put the phone in your pocket. You look in Joel's bag. He's a hunter and had been looking forward to hunting in the forest. His gun is nowhere to be found, so perhaps he took it with him when they left to investigate. Or the person who has been in your tent took it. Sophie's bag is also still here. Apparently she didn't take her phone with her. What in the world could make Sophie leave without her phone? You two are supposed to go to the rocky beach today. But you suppose that will be another time, if ever.
Right, guys. I'm going to end the game here.
After checking your tent, you realize that the first aid kit you brought in case of emergency is gone. Did the person who was in your tent take it with them? Considering how fresh the scent is, you assume they're pretty close. Maybe they went to the main camping building for protection. There should also be food supplies there. You decide to track them down and see if they know something about this absurd situation.
And I hope you guys have a sense of how the game plays now. I have to admit, some of these sounds are pretty cringe, but it is a good game, in my opinion. There are still some mechanics that I'm not going to spoil, that I'm gonna leave up to you guys to discover. But what do you guys think of the sound design? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you all again next time.